Bienvenidos, Husham and welcome to this supplemental video tutorial on the Cisco Networking Academy Introduction to Python course, Lab 2.1.2.11, where we're going to be taking a look at Python literals, and specifically, we're going to be looking at string literals, and we're going to be doing that through the lens of the print function. So we're going to be working with the print function, but we're also going to have some string literals, and we're going to see some of the semantics behind the single quotes, the double quotes, the escape character, and how we would get all of something, the sentence we're going to be working with, on one single line. So let's dive in and take a look here. You can see that Lab 2.1.2.11 is estimated to be 5 minutes. Difficulty level is easy, so let's see what we've got here. We're going to try to get the expected output below, but the requirement is that we're going to write one line of code using the print function to get this done. So what might that look like? Well, we know that we've got one print function that we're going to be using. Now the question is, are we going to use single quotes, double quotes, or triple quotes in order to delineate the string that we're working with here? And I'm going to actually do this all three ways. So we're going to use single quotes for the first response, double quotes for the strings in the second response, and then triple quotes to see what that would look like. So three different ways we're going to solve this problem. So first I said we'll use the single quotes. So then I'm going to put inside, and you can see that it's nice how it gives me the pair of single quotes. So I'm going to put my double quotes here and say I'm, and I know I've got a typo there, but we're going to say I'm double quotes and then single quotes like this. So here's what's going to happen. You'll notice right over here that those parentheses are both green. We should have a white open parent and a white closed parent out here, but we don't. So let's run this and let's see the error that we're going to get. Now the caret character is going to be under the letter M. Whoops, sorry about that. So there's our caret, and it says syntax error, invalid syntax, but it points to the M. Well, again, the M isn't our issue. The issue is that we have the apostrophe, the single quote here, the single tick, and we're using it for the contraction of I am, to say I'm. Well, remember, the starting delineator for the string is a single quote. So as soon as we have a second single quote, it thinks that this is our string literal that it's going to delineate, which is simply the double quote and then the capital I. And that's where the string begins at the first single quote and then ends at the second single quote. So the M and everything that follows it is just simply there, but it's invalid syntax. And so this is where we need to use our escape character. Right? So now when I run this, we're not going to receive an error. I'm sorry, we're going to receive the error because I left out an extra parent there when we were talking about the parentheses. We're not going to receive an error. We're simply going to see it say, I'm in double quotes. And so that's the first part of this challenge. Now, I'm also going to introduce another error in here that's going to sort of offset things that we don't want to have offset. So I'm going to put a comma in here to separate this from the next string. Remember, we can give multiple arguments to the print function, which is a built-in Python function. It's built into the Python standard library. And so here we go. Now I need two double quotes, and I'm going to say learning and then two double quotes. So let's run this right now and let's see what we get here. So we get I'm, and then we get learning on the same line. Well, if we look over here, we can see that that's not what we want. We want learning on its own line. So I need a new line character. So what if I was to drop that new line character in, \n right there? Let's rerun this. And now we get I'm, but you'll notice we've got that space right there. And over here, we don't have the space. So if we examine this, right, we can see we've got that comma in there. Remember, the comma, when we talked about the separator, the default separator is a space, and the comma is how we indicate that. So what if I get rid of the comma. Let's rerun it, and now things line up. And so the final piece to this puzzle should be pretty easy. We're going to start with a single quote. It wants triple double quotes in the word Python, triple double quotes, and then close it with a single quote. Now, remember, if I run this now, we're not there yet, because here we get I'm by itself, but now I've got learning along with the triple quoted Python. Well, when we look over here, that needs to be on its own line. So I need another \n, right? Another new line character. And if I was to put a comma here, we'll see that we would run into the same problem we had before, where we get I'm learning Python, and it looks like it's right, but we've got that extra space there. That's that comma. We need to get rid of the comma. So now let me clear this here. Let's rerun this. And now we've got exactly what we're looking for, using single quotes to delineate, to delineate all of our string literal arguments that we're providing to the print function. Again, if I hit F5 and I click save, and I kind of staged this so I wouldn't have to save it off. And there we go. I'm learning Python. And that's great. So now from right here, let's go ahead and let's use double quotes as the string delineator. So I've got my double quotes. Now remember, we want it to print up the double quotes. Now the single quote, I don't need, I left out the I. The single quote, I don't need to escape, because the single quote is standing by itself here. Remember, we're delineating the string literal arguments, the 3 string literal arguments with double quotes now. So I'm going to say I'm, and then I've got to put another double quote in here. So I've got to escape it so that I can then close it with the double quotes, but not until I put that \n new line character in there. So you can see these are just like the \n, we've got a / double quotes, and it escapes the default functionality of that double quote, which is a delineator of a string. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And now remember, I said we're going to do double quotes to delineate the string. And now we've got 2 sets of double quotes. So \, double quote, and then, so let's make sure we spell learning right. Learning, and then remember, I've got \, double quote, double quote, because I want those to be printed and treated simply as part of the string literal. And there's my double quote to close things out. But before I close things out, what should I be thinking about? I should be thinking about the \n that I'm going to be looking for, right? Remember, the \n comes right before I close things out. So what do we have now? Let's go ahead, and if I was to close this out right now, hit F5, let's see if we get an error message here. And make sure that we've got everything looking good. So I've got the I'm in the double quote, so things look good there. But with learning, we've got 2 sets of double quotes. So everything looks good so far. And I recommend this to my learners. Little pieces, work with little pieces. Get the I'm working, get the learning working with the I'm, and then just build little by little, right? Take an inductive approach here, right? Break it into smaller pieces. So now we've got our double quotes to delineate the next string literal argument that we're putting in here. And now we need triple quotes, \, double quote, we need triple double quotes. So there's 2 and then \. So there's my third. Now I'm going to put in here Python. Now I need \, double quotes, double quotes, double quotes, \n for the new line, and then the closing double quotes. And again, the \n here on that one, I don't actually need that, so we could cut it off right there. And so let's go ahead and let's run this guy and let's see what we get right now. We could do that \n down here. I didn't do it before, so we won't do it here. And so there you go. I'm learning Python. And that escape character is critical. And you can now see how we hold everything on one line. So now, what would we have to do if I was using triple quotes, right? Either triple single or triple double. I would simply say with the triple single, is this going to work? I'm, and then I delineate that, or do I need to delineate the string there? Or can I say, I'm, and then do a \n and then a triple quotes and then a triple quotes here and say, oops, sorry, and we want double quotes for learning and then the double quotes and then close that off. And I want to make sure I get my \n in there. And then at the very end here, triple single quotes and then double, double, double and Python and then double, double, double and the, oops, sorry, one too many there. And then the triple single. What's going to happen when we try to run this? Are we going to get an error? And it looks like, I apologize, looks like I might have an extra single quote in there. I think I'd put 4, didn't I? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. I did. I put 1 too many. I apologize. So we get the bonus lab, right? We have to come back and do some troubleshooting. It'll say F5. And let's run it, and there we go. I'm learning Python. And if we wanted to do that, let's look at a fourth way to do this. If I use the triple double quotes, right? Which again is traditionally, or I should say typically used when we're doing a doc string of some kind. I would say I'm \n and then triple double quotes. And then for the learning, it's going to be 1, 2, 3. Now learning is in double quotes. Sorry, and I think I've got 4. I want 3 \n, then my double quotes. And actually, I left out, I've got the double quotes here. Let me make sure this is right. I'm sorry, I'm just double checking. You know what I just noticed is the double quotes are supposed to be around I'm. So let me work that in there. And let's see where we're at here. I'll just go ahead and cap it right there. But you can see we've got a problem. So I've got triple quotes here. And then we've got the triple quotes 1, 2, 3 here. But now we get to learning. So let me do this actually. Let me pull this back to right here where it says I'm. But remember, I want double quotes around I'm. So is that going to cause a problem when I say F5 and we go to say OK? So we get the EOF, right, into field or into file while scanning triple quoted string literal. So does that mean that I need to escape the double quotes? And actually, I apologize. I thought I had too many. I'm dealing with a lot of quotes here. So let's come out here and let's do 1, 2, 3, and it's going to be 4, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 here. You can see that the \n went green. So we're looking good now. We've got the 3 double quotes, right, for our doc string, so to speak, right, delineating the string. Then I've got my double quotes for I'm, and then I've got my triple quotes, and we've got triple quotes. There we go. So this is in the wrong spot. So, and then we've got the \/ here, right? The return character, but we've got our double quotes, or we think we do. So I hit F5, say, okay, it needs to be saved, and there we go. So we're looking good. We do not need to escape those. All right, so let's continue on here with 1, 2, 3 triple double quotes. Then I've got my 2 double quotes for learning, the 2 double quotes for learning, my \n, and then my triple quotes. Let's run it and let's see what happens here. And everything looks good so far. And then let's continue on here with my triple double quotes to delineate the string that I'm working with here. And then what are we doing? Python, 1, 2, 3 double quotes for Python. And then the 3 double quotes, my \n, and then and actually we're not using the \n at the very end there. So 1, 2, 3. So we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this should be good. But 1 second here, 1, 2, 3 at the end. And I think I put, we need 1, 2, 4. I'm sorry, we need 3 for the string. So there's 3 for the string, and then 1, 2, 3 for the delimiter, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. But when I run this, you can see we get invalid syntax. So we had the \n. Let's see what we've got here. We've got a problem with Python. So let's take a look at what we're working with. So there would be, I'm sorry, miscount on my fault. That's my problem there. Too many quotes here. So there's the 3 that close learning. So then I should have 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3 to give me Python. And it looks like it's treating this second set of 3 not as part of the string literal. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm matching up here. So let's see if we drop in and now let's run it and see if we escape it. My assumption here is that what is going on, and that worked because it appeared that it was interpreting that as the first 3, which would have been those 3 right there for the word Python, the string Python, the 3 that followed, right? Why would it look at that differently and then say Python was the problem? Because these 3 double quotes are closing the delineated string started with those 3 quotes. So again, we have to escape those 3 so that it doesn't interpret those as being the end of the triple double quotes that begin it, right? So lots of quotes there, right? And there we go. So there are 4 different solutions to Lab 2.1.2.11. All right, well, that is going to do it for this video on Python literals, strings, specifically through the lens, looking through the lens of the print function and looking at the single quotes, the double quotes, the triple quotes, and all the escape characters that we would have to use to make sure that those are going to work exactly as we expect them to. All right, well, stay happy, stay healthy. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great evening.